my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Purport. Krishna is the perfect knower of past, present, and future. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord said that all living entities existed individually in the past. They exist now in the present, and they continue to retain individual identity in the future, even after liberation from the material entanglement. So he has already cleared up the question of the future of the individual living entity. Now Arjuna wants to know of the future of the unsuccessful transcendentalist. No one is equal to or above Krishna, and certainly the so called great sages and philosophers who are at the mercy of material nature cannot equal him. Therefore, the verdict of Krishna is the final and complete answer to all doubts, because he knows past, present, and future perfectly. But no one knows him. Krishna and Krishna conscious devotees alone can know what is he, what is what.
Yeah. So what is Arjuna saying in this?
He's saying that no one can destroy this doubt. Like if a transcendentalist doesn't finish, like he leaves everything in between and dies, what happens after that?
Hmm. Yeah. Or he may not even die, he may just lose interest.
Okay, in between
Yeah.
leave.
In
Okay.
between, like, yeah, maybe he got distracted.
Hmm.
Yeah. But somehow the other is not able to get perfection in his practice. Okay. And so then, why is Krishna the perfect person to clear the doubt?
Because he's the knower of everything. He's the supreme
Yeah,
knower. Yeah.
that's right. He knows what's going to happen in the future also. He knows where the yogi is going to go. He knows what he did in the past, what he's doing in the present, and what's going to happen in the future. We say, oh, I think maybe this will happen, maybe that will happen, but we always have to put a maybe. But for Krishna, it's like for sure. Imagine if you knew what was happening in the future, how would you use it? Or rather, how would we use it?
I think obviously we will use it. Um,
For our own benefits.
yeah.
And most likely, that's
Mm.
most likely that's what's gonna happen. So, okay, let's read on then.
Yeah. So in the similar way, God will also use it for the benefit of living entities, right?
Yeah, I mean, he just knows it, you know.
Mm.
Everything belongs to him anyway. It doesn't matter to him whether he knows it or no.
But it also depends on the activities of living entity.
Yeah,
Karam. Yeah.
yeah, of course. But yet he knows what's gonna happen because he knows the past and he knows the present. So then, of course, he knows the future too. Krishna
Okay.
doesn't need to use anything of this information. Doesn't need to. He himself
Mm.
is busy and enjoying in Golok Vrindavan. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go
Text
on.
40. Sri Bhagwan Uvacha Parthaneva Namutra Vinashasya Tasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyanakrit Kaschid Durgatin Tatra Gacchati. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction, either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Purport. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17, Sri Narad Muni instructs Vyasadeva as follows: Tyaktva swadharmam Charanam ambujam hare bhajanam avapo atha pate tato yadi yatra kwa vabhatar abhyud an amyusya kim kavartha apto bhajatam swadharmatah. If someone gives up all material prospects and takes complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no loss or degradation in any way. On the other hand, a non devotee may fully engage in his occupational duties and yet not gain anything. For material prospects, there are many activities, both scriptural and customary. A traditionalist is supposed to give up all the material activities for the sake of spiritual advancement in life, Krishna consciousness. One may argue that by Krishna consciousness, one may attain the highest perfection if it is completed. But if one does not attain such a perfectional stage, then he loses both materially and spiritually. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one has to suffer the reactions for not executing prescribed duties. Therefore, one who fails to discharge transcendental activities properly because subjected to these reactions. The Bhagavatam assures the unsuccessful transcendentalist that there need be no worries, even though he may be subjected to the reaction for not perfectly executing prescribed duties. He is still not a loser because auspicious Krishna consciousness is never forgotten. And one so engaged will continue to be so even if he is lowborn in the next life. On the other hand, one who simply follows strictly the prescribed duties need not necessarily attain auspicious results if he is lacking in Krishna consciousness. The purport may be understood as follows. Humanity may be divided into two sections, namely the regulated and the non-regulated. Those who are engaged simply in versatile sense gratification without knowledge of their next life or spiritual salvation belong to the non-regulated section. And those who follow the principle of the prescribed duties in the scriptures are classified among the regulated section. The non-regulated section, both civilized and non-civilized, educated and non-educated, strong and weak, are full of animal propensities. Their activities are never auspicious because while enjoying the animal propensities of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, they perpetually remain in the material existence, which is always miserable. On the other hand, those who are regulated by the scriptural injunctions and who thus rise gradually to Krishna consciousness certainly progress in life. Those who are following the path of auspiciousness can be divided into three sections, namely the followers of scriptural rules and regulations who are enjoying material prosperity, those who are trying to find ultimate liberation from material existence, those who are devotees in Krishna consciousness, those who are following the rules and regulations of the scriptures for material happiness may be further divided into two classes, those who are fruitive workers and those who desire no fruit for sense gratification. Those who are after fruitive results for sense gratification, those who are after future results for sense gratification may be elevated to a higher standard of life, even to the higher planets. But still, because they are not free from material existence, they are not following the truly auspicious path. The only auspicious activities are those which lead one to liberation. Any activity which is not aimed at ultimate self-realization or liberation from the material body concept of life is not at all auspicious. Activity in Krishna consciousness is the only auspicious activity, and anyone who voluntarily accepts all bodily discomforts for the sake of making progress on the path of Krishna consciousness can be called a perfect transcendentalist under severe austerity. And because the Eightfold Yoga system is directed towards the ultimate realization of Krishna consciousness, such practice is also auspicious, and no one who is trying his best in this matter need fear degradation.
So what do we understand here?
That the transcendentalist, the yogi, like in he doesn't, if he's doing auspicious activities, then he does not meet destruction. Like he's not
That's
lost, his work is not lost in the
and
in this world,
yeah.
or even when he goes to the spiritual. So like it's not lost, it exists.
And what is auspicious activity?
The auspicious activities mentioned here are that he follow his rules and regulations as prescribed. He does his prescribed duties, and he follow everything that is written, is it?
So the auspicious activity here in this verse, Krishna is saying, is activities that which lead to self-realization.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhupada is putting in the, because even if one goes to the heavenly planet, sure, materially we say that that is auspicious, but it's still going to be suffering. So ultimately, it is
Mm.
not actually auspicious. So the only truly auspicious activities are which lead to liberation. So if anyone is engaged in such activity, then Krishna is saying he's a transcendentalist. He's gradually progressing in the right direction. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because one
So
may say
then
that I'm
because
doing
mm,
auspicious activity, but then one may just go to the heavenly planet. But then heavenly planet is also temporary. Our time in heavenly planet is also temporary. And so then it can't be truly called auspicious in a bigger sense.
mm. So
Mm.
what they're trying to say here is for the yogi, right? That applies to a yogi.
Yeah, any
So
kind
like
of a transcendentalist, even a dhyan
any kind
yogi
of
or a devotee.
transcendentalist or
Yeah,
a
a
gyan yogi,
dhyan.
right?
Yeah,
Any kind of
dhyan yogi.
transcendentalist.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Any
So even for the
gyan, dhyan.
bhakta, even for the
Yes,
bhakti yogi, this applies
yeah, yeah,
because bhakti begins from self-realization, right? Itself.
yes. And that's why we are saying any yogi,
Okay.
gyan yogi or dhyan yogi or even bhakta yogi, because
Okay.
they all are engaged in activities towards self-realization. So then that's an auspicious activity.
Okay.
Okay.
Liberation
Okay.
from the material body, you can say. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So then let's read on what Krishna is saying. What happens to the unsuccessful yogi? Somebody wants to read?
I can read.
Sheena?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hmm.
Okay. प्रापेय पुण्य कृतां लोकान् उषित्व शाश्वती समाः शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहि भ्रष्टो अभिज्यते विज्यते. Translation: The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into the family of righteous people and into a fancy. Mm. Purport: The unsuccessful yogis are divided into two classes. One is fallen after very little progress, and one is fallen after long practice of yoga. The yogi who falls after a short period of practice goes to the higher planets, where pious living entities are allowed to enter. After prolonged life there, one is sent back again to this planet to take birth in the family of righteous Brahmana, Vaishnava, or of aristocratic merchants. The real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, as explained in the last verse of this chapter. But those who do not persevere to such an extent and who fail because of material allurements are allowed. by the grace of the Lord to make full utilization of their material propensities. And after that, they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. Those who are born in such families may take advantage of the facilities and try to elevate themselves to full Krishna consciousness. Mm. Hare Krishna. Are you there?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Krishna. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, I think. Wait. And now are you able to hear me?
Yes. Now we can.
Okay.
I
Okay.
can.
Okay. So what do we understand from this verse?
I think unsuccessful people, which are divided into two parts. One
Hmm.
is who falls after like little progress, and the one whose practices for a long time.
Yeah.
The shortest period, they go who has practiced for the short period, they goes to the higher planets,
Hmm.
and after that they are sent back again
Hmm.
to this earth
Hmm.
in a
And
brahmana or aristocratic families.
mm, that's
Mm.
right.
But they have not told here about the one who for the second kind of
Yeah,
the
we're
one who
gonna
does.
read it.
Yeah.
It's gonna come in the next verse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna come. So we can see even if for short time there's no loss. One can still
Mm.
enjoy in the heavenly planets, come back, and then again take up Krishna consciousness. Okay, then let's go to the next one to hear what happens to the yogi after long practice.
अथवा योगिनाम् एव कुले भावति धूमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यद् ईदृशाम्. Translation. Or if unsuccessful along after long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. Purport. Birth in a family of yogis or transcendentalists, those with a great wisdom, is praised herein because the child born in such a family receives a spiritual impetus from the very beginning of his life. It is especially the case in the Acharya or Goswami families. Such families are very learned and devoted by tradition and training, and thus they become spiritual masters. In India, there are many such Acharya families, but they have now degenerated due to insufficient education and training. By the grace of the uh, yeah, by the grace of the Lord, there are still families that foster transcendentalist generations after generations. It is certainly very fortunate to take birth in such families. Fortunately, both are spiritual masters. Om Vishnupad, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and our humble selves had the opportunity to take birth in such families by the grace of the Lord. And both of us were trained in the devotional service of the Lord from the very beginning of our lives. Later on, we met by the order of the transcendental system.
Mm. So what happens to the unsuccessful yogi after he's practiced for a long time?
So he takes his birth in a family of a transcendentalist who are very great wisdom, who are surely great in wisdom. And that is very
Yeah,
rare there. So it's a rare thing
very
to do that.
rare. Yeah, in great transcendentalist families like their Goswamis or Acharya families. And Prabhupada is saying he and his spiritual master both had the good
Yeah.
fortune to take birth in such families. Hmm. Right? Both of them.
So, like in both the
And
cases, it is not a
mm,
loss of the yogi, right? If he has practiced for
yeah,
very long or if he has practiced for a short time, doesn't matter,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's why
Yeah.
Krishna is saying, take it up. Even a small beginning can help us,
Mhm.
save us from the greatest
Mm,
type of fear. Just begin it, he says.
mm. Because sometimes when we see some children in the families of great devotees, then we also say, no, that, oh wow, he's so lucky. Because from the very beginning, they're getting that association.
Yeah, so surely they've done devotional service in their past life.
Yeah. Mm,
That's how they are getting that opportunity to again begin from the very beginning of
mm,
their life.
mm.
Yeah, it's true. And we can see that now, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, a
many
lot of,
children. Yeah, so many. And
yeah,
it's like so amazing and so inspiring to see these
mhm,
children.
yeah,
So we can see what
yeah.
Krishna is saying. We can actually see it, what he said.
Mm, mm.
Okay. Is it okay if we stop here for today?
Okay, yes, 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 okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
No
sorry.
problem.
We
Hare
Yeah,
joined.
Krishna.
I'm
no
sorry I
problem.
joined in lane. Huh? I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna. Shilpa, did you say the the Bhakt and his spiritual master both?
Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master both had the opportunity to take birth in these families,
So
great
every time,
transcendentalists.
right? So are they born together around in the same family or around in the same community? They come again as the same Bhakt and spiritual master.
Wait. The Prabhupada's spiritual master is elder, of course, and of course they met, you know, they did meet.
Yeah,
Srila Prabhupada's
yeah,
spiritual master is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He is the son of
yeah,
Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, great Acharya in our line. Srila Prabhupada, he's born in the family of great Vaishnavas. They're not the same family, but they both are great families.
yeah. So did they come around in the same community? Did they meet again when they were born again?
They did meet, no? That's how he became his spiritual master, right? They
Okay,
did meet,
okay, okay.
they
Sorry, you know
met.
what? I keep forgetting the names. That's why I'm asking you. So I'm
Oh, no, that's
here.
okay. See,
Yeah, yeah,
actually, your voice is not very clear. It's breaking. Srila
yeah,
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur
yeah.
is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. He
Okay,
is born as a son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, also a great Acharya. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, also a great Acharya. Our Srila Prabhupada, also a great Acharya. Our Srila Prabhupada is also born in a family of Vaishnavas, where he was also given opportunity to worship Lord Krishna from the very beginning of his birth.
okay,
And yes, they did meet. I think they met a couple of times, not too many times, but yeah, they met a couple of times. That's how Srila Prabhupada got the instruction. First time he met his spiritual master was in this Calcutta in Ulta Danga Road on the rooftop. There was a satsang, and that's the first time he met his spiritual master. And he got the instruction that, spread this Krishna consciousness movement in the English speaking language. And then
okay,
after that, he met him a couple of times also, where he was always being instructed to write books and spread this Krishna consciousness movement. He was getting these instructions from his spiritual master.
okay.
Okay, does
Yeah,
that help?
okay. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to know, do they meet in any way, the guru and the bhakt,
Did they meet? Yeah,
when
they
they are,
met. That's how they can
yeah,
be guru and a
yeah, yeah,
disciple.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you. So actually, Here it is said in the next one that what happens when he takes birth again. Do you all have the time to quickly finish this one?
Yes, we can finish. I'm okay. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I can read.
Yeah, please.
Tatra tam buddhi sanyogam labhate parva dehikam yatate cha tato bhuya samsiddho guru nandana. Translation. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Guru. Purport. King Bharata, who took his birth in the family of a good Brahmana, is an example of good birth for the revival of previous transcendental consciousness. King Bharata was the emperor of the world, and since his time, this planet has been known among the demigods as Bharatvarsh. Formerly, it was known as Ilavrita Varsha. The emperor at an early age retired for spiritual perfection but failed to achieve success. In his next life, he took birth in the family of a good Brahmana and was known as Jada Bharata because he always remained secluded and did not talk to anyone. And later on, he was discovered as the greatest transcendentalist by King Raghugan. From his life, it is understood that transcendental endeavors or the practice of yoga never go in vain. By the grace of the Lord, the transcendentalist gets repeated opportunities for complete perfection in Krishna consciousness.
Okay, what do we understand? What happens after he takes birth again?
Like he used to remain secluded,
Yeah,
right?
King Bharat, Jar Bharat
King.
specifically, yeah. But that holds true for all the transcendentalists
Mhm.
that when they are born again, they again take up Krishna consciousness and they're progressing. They're progressing. It may be gradual or it may be very fast. Like King Bharat, in 3 lives he got perfection. So it's never lost. Any endeavor in spiritual life is never lost. And so we all encouraged to take up spiritual life. Material life, it gets lost. We have to leave everything behind. When we die, we can't take anything. No matter our education, no matter our beauty, no matter our wealth or relatives or friends, whatever material we have to leave behind, can't take. But the spirituality, our consciousness, to whatever degree we have become purified of our consciousness, that stays. Is that okay?
Yeah, so this means like in might be in our last in previous birth we also have done some devotional service. So now we are involved in this again.
Mm, it may be, or
He,
it may be because of the
we have not
mercy
done
of
that.
the devotees. Huh? I'm sorry.
Yes, I mean, like I have just started right late in like in my late 30s, not late 30s, like late 20s, you can say. So that's maybe like we have done a bit of devotional service in previous birth, but not that much.
So, Prabhupada, when he was asked,
Mm.
so the devotees were telling Prabhupada, Prabhupada, so we have done some pious activities in our past life. That's why we have done Sukriti. Pious means spiritual pious. We have done Sukriti in our past life. That's why we took up Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada said, I am making your Sukriti. You know,
I am making your
because,
Sukriti.
yeah, because Prabhupada he is engaging all of us in devotional service. He's the
Okay.
one, right? By
Okay.
doing some service for Prabhupada, he's engaging us in devotional service.
Mhm.
Otherwise, how would we have done engage devotional service? So maybe, yeah, somebody's done
Mm.
devotional service in their past life, but maybe it's just began because of the mercy of Prabhupada and the devotees now.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm sorry I have to leave right now urgently. Okay, just hold on. Hold one moment, please. One moment.